Contessa decided to do an intervention and it went horribly wrong. I'm not sure if she understood that an intervention needs the presence of a professional, and that for a woman who's going to therapy with her husband, surely she must know by now that she can't change someone else's behavior. Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today I will be talking about Married to Medicine and that intervention that Contessa, Toya, and Dr. Simone signed up for that went terribly wrong. But first I'd like to ask if you could like, share, and subscribe this channel. If you can click that notification button so you know when I have new videos posted. And if you could send me your comments, I'm really interested in what people have to say regarding this episode. So it starts off with Contessa, Toya, and then they bring in Dr. Simone plotting to have an intervention with Heavenly. They all agree that Heavenly has done some reckless stuff on her channel, and they want to let her know, express to her in no uncertain terms, that their feelings are hurt and she needs to stop. Only 3 of them know what's happening. Contessa arranges for the women to meet at her house. This is not a good idea, simply because Contessa, Toya, and Simone can actually express to Heavenly what her behavior has been doing to them individually. And if she does not change, then they can do a corresponding action, because there will be now consequences. She's now informed. She can't say she does not know how she brings forth personal information of her so-called friends. Is not acceptable behavior in their circle. And after that, if she does not adhere to or try to change it up, and she continues to do what she wants to do, then you have a choice of just being casual friends. Hey, how you doing? Amen and thank you. But I'm not sure if Contessa realized what she was doing. First of all, she has a lot of heat and smoke towards Heavenly. That's a given. But she gotta understand too that she's part of the problem. She inserted her personal information, that what was happening in her marriage with her husband, into the equation. Heavenly exhibiting toxic behavior for quite some time. Some of them have enjoyed it, others not so much. They have used Heavenly, some of the cast members, to plot against some other members of the show to get them removed. Some of them have benefited from it. Again, it's up to them to decide whether she has gone too far, and if so, to set boundaries. We see Dr. Jackie in with her patients, and Dr. Jackie telling the audience that a shocking statistic is that 3 to 5% African American women or people who have been kissed have died in childbirth or after childbirth, and that is astounding. So she has a patient who has a challenge before her, and she is coaching the patient as to what to look for, what she needs to talk to her doctor about, and to understand that if she experiences different things in her body, she needs to vocally say so. And the statistic she gave is alarming and troubling. I know from personal experience going to the doctor that The doctor sometimes don't have an ear for you. He's thinking of the time he gets to talk to you, and sometimes you're not clear about what's happening in your body, and it seems like they just want to throw medicine at you and are not listening. I had a doctor at one point told me that I was hysterical, and he said that to me with a straight face. So we as women, and we as black women and women who have been kissed, have to be aware and understand that we have to advocate for our own health. We have had issues. If we don't feel good, we say we're fine. If we go to the doctor, we just accept what they're telling us about ourselves because they are a doctor. But you can't go to a doctor, feel bad, you tell him about it, and he just ignores it. We've all heard horror stories. Someone went to the doctor because they had a severe headache. They saw them in the emergency, sent them home with Tylenol, and they died. Find out what is happening in your body. Research it so when you get to the doctor, you're able to articulate what is happening. Find out what are the symptoms that women experience, the symptoms of a stroke, the symptoms of a heart attack. Go to the doctor with that kind of information, and if they're not listening to you, insist that they hear you, and if that doesn't work, find someone else. Okay, my rant is over. So then we see Nella with Miss Gomez, her husband, and her 2 kids. I love these 2 little boo-boos. Miss Gomez is leaving to go back to Houston. The day has come for them to say goodbye to them. The children, they made them aware of what is happening. Of course, they start crying, and sometimes it's hard for kids to let go of that person who they get love from or who takes care of them. And it was a little bit, sorrowful to watch them tell Miss Gomez goodbye as she drives off. And I'm sure they're going to find someone who could love them equally or even more than Miss Gomez. But these are 2 lovely children. Toya and Eugene sitting down at their house having a conversation about how he's feeling. As you all know, he's an emergency doctor, so he has experienced the pandemic and all its sadness and problem and challenges. He said that quite a few doctors are leaving the profession, and nurses as well, and that he feels a little burnt out. He's trying to find another way to get outside of himself and do more enjoyable things, and 2, move away from the emergency room environment if he can, and find something else to do. We see Amarosa meeting with Cecil and Dr. Simone regarding their book. Amarosa clearly wants to come back to the family reunion, and she's doing all she can to get back. I wish her the best. See the ladies preparing now for this intervention, and they all know that the prospect of Heavenly turning a new leaf is iffy at best. Usually when you have a full-blown intervention, the person have come to themselves, they hit rock bottom. Heavenly is not there. In fact, it seems that she doesn't think that she's doing anything wrong. So the ladies gather, and of course, because only 3 people know, Toya, Dr. Simone, and Contessa, the other ladies who arrive at Contessa's house are suspicious when Toya tells them to put their phone in the red bucket. Eventually, everybody gets down in the basement. They have their food, their snacks, whatever, and Contessa is telling them what is going to happen. Quad doesn't like it at all. Dr. Jackie seems like she's taken aback, And Anella, she just looks like something bad is about to happen. So Heavenly comes to the door, she rings it, no one answers, she opens it, and of course she goes down into the basement, and she see all the ladies there, and she sits down, and Contessa sits next to her and turn on the video that they have prepared of Heavenly talking smack about just about everyone in the room. Now Quad, who had said that they were ambushing Dr. Heavenly, she heard Heavenly saying that she sleeps with men to get the stuff to build a house. She now is upset. When Dr. Heavenly sees the image of herself talking about the other ladies in the room, she starts laughing hysterically. And at one point, Contessa upset, saying her life and with her husband is not a joke. And of course, they start arguing with each other, to the point where they go outside the room and they have loud voices. They're going back and forth. It was a bust. Heavenly headed out of Contessa's house because she told her she's not her friend. She's not going to be friends with her anymore. Clearly, they got to know that she does not care, or she doesn't want to care, or she is so deeply scarred that she doesn't want to understand that she is hurting people and really pushing them away. But I'm not a psychologist. That's for these people to work out. The intervention was a bust. In fact, it wasn't an intervention. It was a setup, an ambush. That's all I have. Remember the bit about advocating for your health and yourself and your peace of mind and your well-being. If you're surrounded by toxic people, it's okay to step back. It's okay to say no, no thank you. It's okay to not present yourself as a sacrificial lamb for people to just wipe their feet on you. You don't have to do it. That's not your assignment. You can open your mouth and say, no, this has to stop, and first of all, it's going to stop with me. It's not going to be easy, but it's better than the alternative. That's all I'm saying. And these things I know from personal experience, you have to practice, because the first thing that comes at you is guilt, and that too needs to be addressed as well. Stay in peace, stay in good health, love yourself, love your people, and if you love someone, let them know. Let them know that you love them. Even if you haven't upset with them, still go ahead and let them know you love them. In everything, blessings always. Bye-bye.